2019 was a pretty big year for gaming. There were some awesome new releases, and I personally know I spent near enough a full year playing, and to be fair, you guys probably wouldn't believe it if I told you. But I kind of wanted to do a video just kind of going through the top few games in different sort of areas of PlayStation that was downloaded over the last 12 months. Obviously bought games, DLC games, VR games, and of course the free-to-play ones. And the first one on the list for free-to-play, if I'm being honest, I don't know whether I agree with it. I think there's something else that should have took its place, and I'm curious to see what you guys think, so stay tuned until the end. I'm going to go through three of each section, if you know what I mean, and then I'm going to kind of give my personal opinion of which I think were the best game of 2019. Now, before anything, any of these games that you guys are looking to pick up, if you want to make them a little bit cheaper, make sure you check out Instant Gaming. They do PSN credits so cheap on there, it's unreal, and they obviously do all these games as well. So if you see the games on sale on PlayStation, you want to get them cheaper, get your PSN credit over there. It's usually like 20% off. Just makes everything just a little bit cheaper. But let's dive straight in. Straight away, the bought games. Now, in third place is Minecraft the PS4 edition. Now, recently Minecraft has had a pretty big update which has changed everything. It's now on Bedrock, so you guys can play with people on Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and even mobile as well, which is pretty cool. Now, if I'm being honest though, I did prefer the PS4 edition because it just reminded me more of Java on PC. It's same kind of mechanics, and with Bedrock there's a few changes that take a little bit of time of getting used to. At second place, EA FIFA 20. Now, I've not played FIFA since FIFA 16, so in my opinion, I haven't really got anything to say about it. I kind of stopped playing it for one simple reason: I spent too much money on the game. Every single year, I used to play Ultimate Team, and I'd spend so much money opening packs, and then when it got to the end of the year, you literally lose everything, you have to start again from scratch, and it's just the same process over and over. That's the thing that put me off about FIFA, and it's the reason that I don't play it anymore. But coming in at second place is a decent place for it anyway. But in first place is GTA 5. I'm pretty surprised at this because simply it's been out for quite a while and I don't play it that much anymore. I didn't think that many people did play it anymore, but to come in first place on bought PS4 games is so surprising. I stopped playing GTA when all the futuristic updates came in. The moment people were flying around on rocket bikes is the moment that I kind of thought, yeah, I don't really fancy playing this game anymore. But I do see why it came in at first place. It's an awesome title. It recently went free on Xbox on Game Pass, and there is talks of it possibly going free on PlayStation Plus at some point this year, which would be really cool to see. Next up though, PlayStation VR. In third place is Job Simulator. Now, I love Job Simulator. It's one of the main reasons that I actually bought a PlayStation VR. It's literally, you're in the world of robots. There's like 3 or 4 different jobs. Can't remember exactly how many there are. You can be a mechanic, you can work in a shop, you can work in an office, and I think the other one is like in a restaurant. I think it's 4 games that are on there. You have to do loads of different tasks. It's so fun to play because literally you can stick to it, or you can just be an idiot and throw cups at people's heads, which is always pretty fun to do. Second place, Blood and Truth. This is probably the only game on the PSVR list that I haven't actually played. And if I'm being honest, it looks pretty awesome. It reminds me of London Heist with the way that it looks. Gameplay wise and stuff, I'm not too sure whether it's even related to the series, whether or not it's a follow-on, or whether or not it's just me looking at one game and looking at another and thinking they play quite similar. But Blood and Truth came in at number 2. In first place though is a game that definitely deserves to be there. It is possibly the best game that I've ever played, and it's my favourite VR game ever, and anyone that's seen it straight away loves it, and it's Beat Saber. If you ever played games like Guitar Hero where it's just music and you've got to hit certain things in a certain order in a certain way at the right time and kind of progress through it, rather than like using the drums and like the guitars and whatever on those style of games, it's literally lightsabers and you're hitting boxes with arrows on, and when you think about it, when you hear it that way, it's like, yeah, that doesn't sound like the best game, but the gameplay for it when you're in it is just absolutely amazing. DLC. Now, this is where things get a little bit weird and there's not really that much to say on it, because the top 10 downloaded DLCs for PlayStation, every single one of them is Fortnite, so I'm not really going to get into it. It's literally just different skin packs for Fortnite, and yeah, all 10 of them Fortnite. Do I agree? Probably not, to be honest, because with the DLC packs on Fortnite, I always preferred the ones that were on the store or the ones that were in the Battle Pass. The other ones I kind of thought, don't think I ever actually got one, apart from sometimes just to top up the V-Bucks. But to finish up with the free-to-play games. Now, coming in at the third spot is a game called Dauntless. Now, if you never played this, it kind of reminded me of Monster Hunter World. You kind of went round and you got little tasks of monsters that you had to defeat. You get tossed into a world with a couple of your friends. First of all, you had to kind of track down the monster, and then you just had to wipe it out, and it took a long time to kill. Now, I played it when it very first came out. I haven't played it recently, so I don't know whether anything's changed on it, whether the mechanics of the game have changed whatsoever. But when I played it, it was a fun game. But I think it only held my attention for about a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then I just moved on to something else. It's a decent title, but again, I'm not too sure what's changed in it. But that's in at number 3. In second place is Fortnite. I were expecting this to be straight away at number 1. Now, Fortnite is a game that I played for a long time when it first came out, and then I moved on to other BR games, just because the building on it got to a point where people were just literally throwing up giant skyscrapers in like 3 seconds, and I was still there with like my little 1x1. I'm alright at BR games, but the building mechanic of it always made me struggle. I understand why it came in the top 3. It's one of them games, it's probably the biggest game like this that has ever been out. It got so popular with pretty much every streamer, every YouTuber posting content on it. But I am surprised it didn't come in at number 1. But in first place, though, is another BR game, and it's Apex Legends. Now, I were expecting this to be the other way around. I would have thought Apex would have took second place, Fortnite first, but Apex is a decent game. Again, I played it when it first came out, and the only thing that I wasn't too keen on is that you had to play in a trio. If you ever play on your own, or you've got friends that aren't online, you're stuck playing with randoms, and the problem playing with randoms is a lot of the time, halfway through the game, they'll back out and you'll be stuck on your own, or you can be in the final circle and you can be on like the top kill that you've ever been on, and they'll still back out because the mums told them it's tea time, and that kind of ruins your game, because then it's like a full team against you. You get your ass whooped because some dude had to go and eat his chicken nuggets. I know they have recently changed things and they put limited time modes in where it's been duos, and it's had solos in it as well, which I like. But the fact that it's never kind of been a constant thing where if you just want to play on your own and a solo you can. Same with duos, and it was always trios. That's the one problem that I did find with the game, because there was always one mate that weren't online and you were stuck with a random for a few hours before they came on. But yeah, they're the official like top 10s and stuff. In my personal opinion, the best game, the game that I've put most time into over the last year, is probably Black Ops 4. Now, I know everybody loved Blackout, and I played Blackout constantly for about 2 months, 3 months or so when it was actually released, and I absolutely loved it. But the one thing that I loved even more was just the standard multiplayer. I've always played Call of Duty in hardcore, just because I love the fact that you have to be a little bit more tactical, because one bullet and you're dead. But the same as you can, if you get in the right spot, you can get into a spawn and wipe out everybody with like half a clip. And it gets so cool that when you're playing with a full squad on hardcore, it's just amazing. And I literally still play that game today. I do play the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but I find it a little bit too slow for the way that I actually run and gun. So whenever I do fancy a proper decent game and all my mates are online, I do tend to jump straight back onto Black Ops 4. Same as sometimes I even go back to Black Ops 2, just because I love that game as well. I am curious to see though, out of all the games that I've mentioned, which one have you enjoyed the most? And in your opinion, which would you have put in the top place? Was they in the right ones, or do you agree with something different? Leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts. But that's pretty much it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, a like would be awesome. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new to the channel. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.